is Suzanne Jana, and today I would like to present a topic called the factors influencing workplace bullying of employees in a private education institution. Here are the table of contents for today. Firstly, introduction. Secondly, methodology. Thirdly, results analysis. And lastly, conclusions. First of all, before I proceed for the next slides, I would like to share with you what is the term for workplace bullying. In the early 1990s, the term bullying in the workplace was coined to describe a pattern of relentless violence, crime, fear, incivility, insults, misuse of power, and severe consequences for victims in Scandinavia. Here are the objectives in order to carry out this study. The main objective of this study is to determine the level of the workplace bullying among employees in a private education institution. Hence, there are three specific objectives which will be carried out in the study. Firstly, to determine the level of abusive supervision, hostile working environment, and workplace ostracism among employees in a private education institution. Secondly, to determine the relationship between abusive supervision, hostile work environment, and workplace ostracism towards workplace bullying among employees in a private education institution. Lastly, is to determine the factors influencing the workplace bullying among employees in a private education institution. Today, I would like to introduce the concept of dependent variables and independent variables which are used in this study. Firstly is workplace bullying. Divani's 2017 quoted an example from Rayner and Hall. There are several previous studies that have described workplace bullying according to its action. For the sake of further clarification, the terms belittling one's professions and belittling one's opinion are used, as well as refusing to grant one credit when it is due, and terrorizing one, as well as terrorizing and failure to give due credit. Hence, the hypothesis 1, there is the main factor in workplace bullying among employees in a private education institution. Next, I would like to introduce the concept of independent variables. Firstly is abusive supervision. Most leadership studies have examined the actions of successful leaders, but not all have investigated the potential motives behind them. Formally, openly berating, insulting, and harassing the troops is known as abusive supervision. Despite this, few studies have investigated the implications of these types of leader behaviors on debilitating workers' abilities to share their knowledge. Hence, the hypothesis 2, there is a positive and significant relationship between abusive supervision and workplace bullying among employees in a private education institution. Secondly is hostile working environment. Hostile working environment is defined as unwelcoming and unwanted conduct that causes the employee to feel anxious, worried, or frightened. A hostile atmosphere may be created by various acts, such as teasing, swearing, acts of insubordinance, nicknames, and demands for sexual favors, including such as touches, stares, attention, harassment, and sexual abuse. Successor partners, in addition, the offended party can also be colleagues, customers, client, and/or customers. Hence, the hypothesis 3, there is a positive and significant relationship between hostile work environment and workplace bullying in a private education institution. Lastly is workplace ostracism. Ostracism is prevalent in a daily human life and can manifest itself in both silence and total avoidance. Additionally, ostracism is the absence of cooperation, for example, not perceiving, including, or selecting, or even initiating cooperation with another person or group. On the other hand, it is the treatment of one gives, one receives will depend on whether one has reacted poorly in the previous encounter with another person, regardless of their feelings about this. Hence, hypothesis 4, there is a positive and significant relationship between workplace ostracism and workplace bullying in a private education institution. The research methodology for this study is quantitative research. The study is primarily designed to find out from a cross-section of employees from an organization the perception of workplace bullying. The employees are from a different department and hold a different position in the organization level. In order to collect information, there is a specific group will be participating in the study of workplace bullying. It is proposed to select a sample from employees as sampling strategy. The questionnaire will be distributed through email to them. The participants will be requested to respond within 1 week after distribution of questionnaires completed. The instrument used in this study are Likert scale. Likert scale is also known as the Summated Rating Scale, is one of the attitudinal scales designed to assess attitudes. The Likert scale will be rated from a scale of 1 to 5. The respondent needs to rate the scale of 1 strongly disagree, 2 disagree, 3 neutral, 4 agree, 5 strongly agree. The result will be determined by Cronbach's alpha, which 0.7. The question is developed based on previous study. The research population for the study is employees in a private education institution. The two small institutions has a total population of approximately 80 employees and organization. To decide the sample size, Craigie and Morgan are used to determine the number of samples to be responded in this study. The sample size suggested 66. For reliability analysis, it is part of pilot study to test if the instrument can be carried out to the field. Hence, the data will be analyzed using statistical package for the social science SPSS software. After the study has been carried out, here are the result analysis based on the concept of variables. The table 1 showed that level of workplace bullying. Overall, the mean for workplace bullying was 3.16 with a standard deviation of 1.140. 27.3% of respondents in this study indicated a medium level of workplace bullying. 31.8% indicated a low level of workplace bullying and 40.9% indicated a high level of workplace bullying. In conclusion, from the table below, it is clearly indicated the existence of workplace bullying, even though half of the respondents do agree on the workplace bullying under control. This table shows the level of abusive supervision, hostile working environment, and workplace ostracism. Here are the correlation analysis between dependent variables and independent variables. Firstly is correlation analysis between abusive supervision and workplace bullying. The nature of the relationship between two variables in terms of direction is positive as Pearson correlation value indicates 0.641 and the strength of relationship based on rule of thumb is a moderate relationship between abusive supervision and workplace bullying. Therefore, there is a significant and moderate relationship between abusive supervision which lead to workplace bullying. Secondly, correlation analysis between hostile working environment and workplace bullying. The nature of the relationship between two variables in terms of direction is positive as Pearson correlation value indicates 0.575, and the strength of relationship based on Buford rule of thumb is a moderate relationship between hostile working environment and workplace bullying. Therefore, there is a significant and moderate relationship between hostile working environment and workplace bullying. Lastly, correlation analysis between workplace ostracism and workplace bullying. The nature of the relationship between two variables in terms of direction is positive, as Pearson correlation value indicates 0.536, and the strength of relationship based on rule of thumb is a moderate relationship between workplace ostracism and workplace bullying. Therefore, there is a significant and moderate relationship between workplace ostracism and workplace bullying. Next is the implication of workplace bullying. Firstly, towards organization. Workplace bullying can either be intentional or unintentional and should be anticipated. Secondly, is on employee behavior. Workplace bullying can lead to reduced productivity of employees. Lastly, is towards employee health. Employees can become terrible and less productive, unbalanced moods, emotional distress, and lack of focus. Next is the recommendation for the study. Firstly, in terms of practice, researchers and practitioners should propose and enforce anti-bullying strategies aimed at producing zero resilience for harassment, increasing understanding of what is involved, and clarifying what is meant by acceptable work behavior. For future research, future studies on workplace bullying should be longitudinal, well conducted in diverse geographic and occupational settings, incorporated other factors, and conduct either quantitatively or qualitatively in order to explore more the meaning of workplace bullying in terms of Malaysian context. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation.